Wow. I've never
Yeah.
heard that metaphor before, that analogy, but that's fascinating.
I'm weird. I'm just weird.
That's beautiful. Steve, were you going to possibly jump in with something musically relevant or irrelevant?
Oh, it's so hard to follow up on Dolette's analogy because I mean, none of us would be here in this chat today if we didn't have some resonance with something odd and non-traditional. If you just come down to the drone factory driven world that we live in, filled with conflict and horror and confusion and egomania, I don't think any of us would be here if we didn't share this grounded understanding that occasionally this rubber band appears and these glowing aura of energizing intensity makes us realize there's something else going on here. And so I think probably the thing we have in common, in addition to our insanity in saying yes to impossible, crazy, fearful projects, is that when we go for it, the 9 of us or 10 or 11 of us can do something that adds up to way more than any one person's energy can enable. And I just want to acknowledge Dolette and thank you for, and each of you said yes to something insane and impossible and unlikely. And even Markus saying yes to come talk to all of us. I know you're grounded with this piece and a long history with connection going back to, I don't know when we met on some Guitarcraft course in the 90s or 80s, but we're all part of this same fabric and family who regularly take on and defy logic and leap into these fearful situations and say, yes, oh, I'll solo on that. Sure, I'll learn that. Oh, and you want me to do a video? Oh, 2 videos, one with a black background, one with a white background? Oh, and the lyrics are complicated and there's not a single break to breathe during the whole song? So
yeah, speaking of crazy and speaking of lyrics, right? Like that is to me like maybe the craziest part. Like lyrics. How did they come to you, Steve?
Let me come back to that question and first tie something that Nora and Dolette mentioned too. I think there's something going on. Well, actually, I'm tuned down to an A here for the Tony Levin bass part in Discipline, which I've been learning.
Casual Tuesday.
Yeah. This is a cello. This is a viola.
Oh, yeah.
So this tuning that, I've been using for 35 years is grounded in hundreds of years of first harmonic tuning based, instruments. And Robert's insight of seeing this tuning fly by on when he was sweating at the Apple Health Spa on Bleecker and Thompson in New York in 1984, with a story which I've heard 3,921 times, is grounded in something that goes back hundreds of years. And so in a way, Markus, this tuning fits beautifully with Gretchen's cello, with Nora's violin.
Same.
And it's, in a way, I see the addition of strings to these strings as, I like the way you said it, Markus. It's not like we're going out and plugging this stuff into it. We're already there. This tuning is grounded in so much history. Everything from the shapes of the tetrachords. I don't know if you know this, Gretchen, but when I'm watching you play your part, I know what you're playing just by watching your fingers. The way that all the tetrachords line up beautifully and symmetrically. And so this tuning is grounded even the way the triads work. There's a whole set of super historical grounding in the voicings. Of course, we blow all that crap apart by doing these stretches and doing this the stuff that Trey came up with, and then put it all in 7. Everything goes out the window. Like, I don't know how many violin players would play a part like this.
I'm gonna say less than 0.
Probably. Gretchen, have you ever played a part like that? But the crazier thing, though,
is that, Steve, you can do this while talking, which is totally mental. I call Steve, actually, this is crazy. Steve will call me on the phone, and I say, hello, and I hear this he says, "Hello, Nora. How are you?" And I'm like, "Steve, are you talking to me while you're practicing?" And it just goes on. I can't understand how it's possible, but
it's a bad habit.
Did it just now.
It is a bad habit. I mean, even this is what I'm usually doing, which is copying you, Nora, which is learning Paganini while talking. And it's a bad habit. Octavio knows this too, but I regularly practice from 11 to 12 or 12 to 1 at night. And that's awesome that it's also the time when I can catch up with others and practice at the same time. So it's a good division of attention.
Just don't add driving into that, because that really will be one too many things.
Yeah, that might be my last road trip.
I hear a song coming on, my last road trip down the highway. I don't know why I'm Southern now. I'm sorry.
Next genre.
My Dolly Parton thing coming out again.
Dolette, let's do a Dolly cover next.
That'll work for me. I'll do anything Dolly Parton.
Same. Oh.
Yeah, something that we all actually have heard before.
Yeah.
What a concept.
Ooh. Let me think about that one.